You know, folks say some fights start with punches flying, but mine kicked off with a sleek blue iPad and this phony grin that could curdle milk. I was kicking back on my porch one crisp morning, sipping black coffee, staring at the weathered railing my grandpa hammered together back in the 50s, thinking maybe it's time to slap on a fresh coat of stain. You know, keep his handiwork alive. The maples were whispering in the breeze, birds chirping like they owned the place, and that old oak floor creaking under my boots like it was telling stories of its own until I heard those heels clicking on the driveway gravel, sharp as knives, determined, and laced with that kind of anger that spells nothing but headaches. That's when she appeared, Evelyn Hart, the iron-fisted president of the Willow Creek Hollow HOA, striding up like she was queen of the hill, that damn blue iPad glued to her chest like it held the secrets of the universe. Crisp navy blazer, oversized shades hiding whatever storm was brewing in her eyes, and that Smilio man, that tight-lipped curve that screamed, "I've got you now." "Morning, Mr. Harlan," she drawled, all honey and venom mixed. "Just doing a routine check on neighborhood standards, and your old lodge here. Well, it's raising some red flags." I leaned back in my chair, not buying it for a second. Me family's been on this patch of Willow Creek since before the HOA was even a whisper, back when it was just woods, streams, and folks minding their own. But she pushed on, tapping that screen like a judge's gavel. "Your place juts out 2.8 feet into community Greenbelt prime violation territory." Greenbelt? Huh. That's rich. It's just wild ferns and the creek bed my dad used to fish in. Nothing community about it except the HOA's greedy maps redrawn to suit their fancy. I didn't snap, though kept it cool, reached into my pocket for the faded deed and that yellowed survey from '58, held it up so the sunlight caught every ink stroke. "Here you go, Evelyn. Proof this land's been Harlan's for generations. We never signed your HOA charter, never bowed to your petty rules." Her eyes narrowed like slits, and that's when it hit me hard. This wasn't about some measly feat of dirt. It was personal, raw. Evelyn had clawed her way to re-election by vowing to clean up the hollow, stamp out eyesores, to boost property values, and line her pockets with those extra dues. And me? The stubborn holdout who fixed neighbors' leaky roofs and jump-started trucks in snowstorms. I was her perfect scapegoat, the outsider threatening her little empire built on shaky foundations and whispered deals. She flipped open that iPad, hit record, and went, "Livio boy, did she ever." "Fellow guardians of Willow Creek," she beamed into the camera, voice pitching up like a bad infomercial. "Here I am at the road build that's been undermining our harmony. The owner's digging in his heels, refusing to play by the rules we all cherish." My blood started simmering as she panned over my lodge, the same spot where my mom nursed me through chickenpox, where Dad rebuilt the porch swing during his chemo days, turning it into some villain's lair for her online flock. And the kicker? Those same neighbors I'd lent tools to, shared venison with after hunts they piled on in the comments. "That eyesore's been bugging me forever. He skips every community potluck. About time someone called him out." Betrayal stung deep, like a knife twist, but before I could bark back, my boy Ethan stepped out, 15, tech-savvy as they come, phone already rolling from the side angle. "Dad," he muttered under his breath, eyes wide. "She's viral 40K watching live. This is her takedown show." It crystallized then. This clash wasn't just land. It was legacy versus lies, a power grab fueled by Evelyn's ego, bloated from years of manipulating folks into fearing change, all while she pocketed fines that vanished into thin air. I straightened up, voice steady but edged. "Fine, Evelyn, call in the cavalry if you must. I've got facts, you've got flair." Half an hour later, squad cars crunch up the drive, and out steps Officer Dana, Torres, mid-40s, world-weary gaze like she'd refereed 1,000 backyard brawls over fences and fireworks. Evelyn swooped in like a hostess at high tea. "Officer, thank goodness we're dealing with encroachment, hostility, and blatant disregard for our covenants." I handed over my folder, deeds, permits, all stamped and sealed while she paced, fuming. But the real gut punch came shuffling up. Old Walter Green, my neighbor at 84, leaning on his cane, clutching a battered envelope like it was dynamite. "Walter, stay out of this," Evelyn hissed, trying to block him with her body, voice cracking, just a hair fear peeking through her armor. But he brushed past, steady as oak. "Officer Torres, you gotta see these." And out spilled the truth. Maps from 82, letters, even grainy photos proving the HOA's birth was a scam developer paid Walter, then a broke young surveyor, to fudge boundaries, stealing acres from families like mine to sell fancy lots. I was young, desperate, thought it'd blow over, he confessed, voice gravelly with regret. But it ate at me. Kept the originals, matches Jack's deeds perfectly. And get this, half the HOA's prize clubhouse, even Evelyn's mansion, built on pilfered ground. Torres's face shifted from skeptical to stone-cold realization, while Evelyn's facade crumbled, her live feed catching every damning word, Ethan's stream hitting 60K, the Hollow's dirty laundry airing nationwide. That night, our quiet corner exploded on the evening news, whispers turning to roars. Come dawn, I jolt awake to clanging metal and engines growling peer out, and nearly spill my Joe. Evelyn's gone full fortress mode, slamming up a 10-foot chain-link barrier topped with barbed wire, electronic locks gleaming, slicing right across my drive, Walter's path, even the shared mailboxes locking us in like criminals. No codes handed out, folks trapped, cars idling uselessly. She stood beyond the gate, megaphone blaring. Emergency protocol to safeguard our assets, violators will be dealt with. It was madness, her desperation peaking, born from that deep-seated greed, the fear of losing control after years of puppeteering the community, turning friends against each other for her gain. Drones buzzed overhead, reporters swarming by 9 a.m., capturing her unraveling live sweat beating, voice shrill as she spun tales of threats and uprisings. By midday, Torres rolled back with county brass and a fresh warrant, barking orders to the crew. Tear it down now. Evelyn bolted, but the foreman spilled paid in cash under an alias. Turns out, that Gates tech had a hidden drive, lists of schemes across states. Evelyn Hart unmasked as Sandra Klein, a con artist wanted for HOA hustles in 4 spots, fleecing folks with fake fees and forged titles. FBI swooped in. They nabbed her at Denver Airport, mid-escape to her next mark. We reclaimed our land, new surveys drawn fair, laws tightened against such crooks. Walter passed 6 months later, but not before toasting to the downfall of the mess he helped start, his redemption complete. These days, I sip my coffee on that same porch, maples still whispering, peace settling deep, no iPads, no barbed wire, just roots running true. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it though thin the line is between order and oppression? How one person's quest for control can blind a whole community to what's right under their noses. Ever stared down someone with a badge or a title who tried to steamroll your world? Spill your tale below. Did truth win out? Or did power play dirty? Like if this fired you up, share with folks who need that reminder. And hit subscribe for more real-life reckonings where justice doesn't whisper. It roars.